Good morning, guys. This is Issues with Daddy One Skip. I am. You're not. How are you today? I've been sick. I have been. Sick, but I'm feeling better. Can you tell? I hope so. Guys, happy Mother's Day to those that it applies to. But not to you, Gypsy Rose. No happy Mother's Day to you. You unalived your mama. Remember? And you haven't been taking very good care of your little one, Aurora. Have you been? Last time we left off, Gypsy Ahoy had kind of lost it and started to unravel. Kind of unravel like when we were younger. Remember those cap guns? They were red. Remember the caps she'd put in there? And then the hammer of the gun would hit the red part that would be in a circle. Remember those? I'm not losing my mind. You remember those? Unravel like those red, and there were two pieces of paper that were put together, and there was a little bit of like gunpowder or something inside of it that made the gun go boom or bam or whatever. It's like a snap system. Unravel like those. You guys, those that understand, we understand, guys. So guys, today's Gypsy's first Mommy's Day as a mommy. Well, how do you think that's gonna go? Gypsy never mentioned, here's the thing. Gypsy's mom played both roles. She had to look out for Gypsy, support Gypsy financially, emotionally, in everything. Gypsy was a difficult child because she had that micro deletion. That's something that's legitimate. This Munchausen by proxy, throw it out the window because the micro deletion was real, and the side effects that come with the micro deletion, the symptoms and are much more severe when a child is trying to fight things off than when a person becomes older. A lot of people outgrow allergies and sicknesses from when they were younger to when they become in their teens and stuff. So I believe that Gypsy had a lot more in severe symptoms, and nobody knew what it was. The micro deletion came out before what type of micro deletion it was and how better to serve her. So Gypsy was a sick kid. That's legitimate. And she had an overprotective mom, and that's true. That's the true bit of it. Unlike Gypsy, who doesn't seem to really give a shit about Aurora, so we see on camera. But we see on camera how Gypsy's mom took care of her, how Dee Dee loved her. But we don't see any celebration of Mommy's Day. We don't see Gypsy feeling any kind of remorse for her mom, any kind of loss of love for her mom. And her mom was the one that was there. Her dad wasn't there. Her dad did not take care of her financially. Gypsy is not an idiot, guys. She's not. We know this. So at this point, she's figured out if my dad really wanted to take care of me. Let's say her mom said, Rod didn't want to take care of you, Gypsy. Your dad didn't love you, didn't want to take care of you. At this point, she doesn't realize that all her dad had to do was go to the authorities and say, I don't know where my daughter is, or she's taking hours away. I'm paying child support, which he claimed he did, but we've seen proof that he didn't. I mean, at this point, what I'm saying is she knows how her dad failed her. She knows how her mom showed up for her. You see nowhere where Dee Dee profited from Gypsy's fake illnesses, except for the fact, yes, they got a house. They got a house in a wheelchair. But we have to remember, Gypsy herself said, I faked being paralyzed or having no feeling in my leg for longer than I had feeling in my leg because I didn't want my mom not to love me anymore. That makes no sense to me, but let's just go with it. Gypsy did not tell her mom, supposedly, according to Gypsy, if we're going to believe that about Gypsy, that they needed the wheelchair. So her mom got her what she needed. Her mom was the only one there. Her mom took her on all these junkets that she experienced. Her dad didn't show up for her. And not because they were a state away. He could have gone twice a year. I heard he makes really good money. He could have gone twice a year. He could have fought to have Gypsy, but he didn't. And also, Christy could have fought to have Gypsy on holidays and such. They supposedly just let her go. And that's proof, because there's no pictures of Gypsy and her dad after a certain age. And there's no child support. He was in arrears. So, and who knows if he ever paid it. But he didn't show up. The only one that showed up was Dee Dee. And Gypsy unalived her. It's not even that she unalived her and says, my mom was wonderful. She did all these things for me. She was overbearing, but she did all of this stuff for me. We didn't go on things for her. We didn't go on vacations for her. We didn't do any extravagant things for my mom. All of that stuff was for me. She doesn't say any of that. She gives her mom no credit. Her mom gave her an amazing life. An amazing life. If we're to believe that Gypsy was sick. And Gypsy wants us to believe that she thought she was sick. When we know Gypsy was not sick. She knew she wasn't sick. This was part of a grift. How do you answer to that? How do you answer to that? You knew you weren't sick. What did you do, Gypsy, that your mom didn't do? Guys, Dee Dee was never given the credit that she deserved. Gypsy keeps crying and wanting us to believe, not even crying because they're crocodile tears. She wants us to think that she's survived this horrible ABUSC. Guys, how many tiaras and crowns does an ABUSC victim have? Because, Gypsy has a collection of this shit. Who made her feel like she deserved that? Show me one person of ABUSC that has crowns and tiaras and goes on these massive trips, these junkets, where she gets to see things that many people wouldn't see. See, now that that's all come out, Gypsy doesn't want to be a part of that. She doesn't want to play her responsibility in that. Not at all. She wouldn't even tell us the thing that supposedly came out where she told the doctors, or the doctor told her, that she had those spasms in her legs and had this a seizure where she couldn't walk. But when Gypsy got the feeling back, she didn't go telling her mom, right? She was part of this. So her mom was carrying her with a almost severed foot, legitimately. Her mom carrying Gypsy when she was in her late teens, right? Taking her and picking her up from one place to the other place, where Dee Dee legitimately needed a wheelchair, if we're to believe the medical records. You know what I'm saying, guys? Gypsy has not given her mom any credit for anything. And Gypsy has lied and said her mom did all the talking at the doctor's appointments, but when you see in the FOIAs, that's not true. It says patient said this, patient said that. It doesn't say anything. It says that, in fact, that Dee Dee was happy to see progress and stuff, and it was Gypsy saying, no, there's no progress. Guys, I'm not saying that Gypsy came up with the whole grift thing, because I don't believe that. But I do believe that it was something hand in hand, as most of us do. And she, who participated in it, doing the same thing, has done nothing but bash her mom. And yet, was there really reason to do that? Guys, was there really reason to do that? Yes, because it fit the narrative for Gypsy to get away and not be confined to a wheelchair like everybody thought she was, and not having to explain what happened to her. She wanted done. She wanted out. She wasn't a kid anymore. It showed up that she wasn't a kid anymore. There were benefits that were going to stop. And Dee Dee was getting sicker and sicker and sicker and needed by Gypsy. And Gypsy wasn't prepared to return the favor. And that's what happened there. she wasn't prepared to help take care of her mom. Guys, this is Issues with Toddy One Skip. I am Toddy One Skip. That's Milo and Danny. And we'll see you on the next one. Be better today than you were yesterday, not half as good as you'll be tomorrow. Please like, subscribe, and share. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you all so much for your memberships, the merch that you're buying, the Cash Apps, PayPals, super thanks, super chats. I love you guys. Thank you so much. You don't know the difference it's making in our lives. I appreciate you so much. Thanks, guys.